going back to the last question, so
Yes.
everybody understands what we are talking about.
No problem.
So, do you feel the cultural barriers on video games are relevant to the industry, or the video games are universal, like the art?
Yeah, it depends on the kind of game, I think. Um, Mechanic-wise, I think many players are familiar with classic genres, like you said, for platformer without ground or something like that. I mean, my mechanic it was about gravity. I still to this day don't know about the tutorial. Some players seem that they didn't get it at all, so I must not explain that very clearly. There will be games that rely on localization or translation way more than others. For narrative games or story games that rely on story, that's the main difficulty to adapt to other cultures, I think. But in terms of marketing and sales wise, I think it's just the difficulty of number of games released every day. So even with doing all that you can localization wise and adapting to other cultures, it's just the sheer quantity of games. I mean, even on mobile, there is like 3 new 100 entries every day or something like that. So I think that's the main barrier really is to have players' attention, to have press attention. There is much more competition than before, as much as there is new tools that lower that barrier and make it possible for more and more people to make games. As much as that competition is, everybody competes for that, especially for casual games or so-called casual games on mobile. People play on the go, so they have tons of games to choose from. I mean, just being known or heard of is the main barrier, I think.
Okay, so let's talk about your future. Do you have any project on the future? Some
Uh,
new game?
yeah, potentially. Ideally, it would be that was the first project I was working on initially. I worked like for 7 months on it so far, and I am resuming work like maybe next month, beginning of next month, something like this. And yes, I am still not sure how much time it will take. So ideally, it would be on 2015. It should get me busy until next December easily, I think.
Okay, so is there any kind of game that we could expect from you? I don't know,
Uh,
something that you really want to do?
yeah, that's kind of the initial idea I was working on. It's more of a simulation game. It's way more heavy code-wise, complexity-wise, subject and teams-wise. I mean, I'm taking every risk possible on every on every category. So I'm not sure if it will interest people or if it will please them. But I kind of agree with the Vlambeer guys. I am going to talk about them again, but they do such an amazing work on all fronts. So and that kind of mentality, I saw it with Hang there. I mean, I love the idea. I would have loved to keep working on it, for example. But I see the downloads so far, it's not clicking. I spent already a year on it, 2 years before that on my first project. I am making like $100 a month from ads at the best. So financially, I need to kind of step up things in the company to survive next year. So it won't be free. It will be paid, I think, and not even mobile. First, it will be PC. So yeah, to get back to what I was saying about Vlambeer, it's like I want to work on the game I want to make. So and that I want to play, incidentally. With Hang There, I went into it like in a jam mentality to work like some months on it to have that satisfaction of releasing something, just to get that mental barrier, out of the way. But yeah, if you are not passionate enough about the idea, you won't even survive months of work. So you have to be passionate, really passionate about what you want to say with the game. So
Perfect. You really have all our support, and I mean, Hang There is one of the most visited entries that we have on the page. It's the third most visited entry.
okay,
Yeah, and that's it's something interesting because well, we have projects that has a lot of budget and that were projects very big, but they don't make that approach, or they are not so interesting than your game, and that's very fun to me, uh, because not the games that I expect were the games that were most popular on our page the last year. Obviously, that a game is popular on our page doesn't mean that all the
that,
people is buying,
I mean, I
but
swear, I am. That's super nice because I don't have tons of feedback about that game, and I'm super pleased to hear that. All of it was more or less by accident, I just went on fate with it. I am having hits from Russia last week, so I don't know how that happened, but yeah, marketing and stuff like that. I really don't understand it that much. I'm learning tons about it every day. But thanks for your blog. You were one of the first to say nice things about it. So
sure, and that's the purpose, to promote the games that in other places, well, they won't find the space. So
super.
yeah, yeah. Just to finish,
Yeah.
where does the people could find you, could find your work, news about your games?
Yeah, they can follow me at my Twitter account. I am more active on it some days more than others. You can check my page. So the company name is Palm Grove Software. I am from Marrakesh, so that was the idea behind, the palm trees and the palm grove. And you have the page of the game for links to the stores if you want to download it. So hangthere.com. And it's Khalil Arafan on Twitter and the Facebook pages. You can check my first app if you want to. I remade the Arabic app that I worked on first years. So maybe there will be more updates on that and hang there. Who knows if I take a month to have another break to add content on it or stuff like that. That's the thing about being independent, is that I work on my way on what I want when I want. So
Sure, and other thing that I think could be interesting for you is if any artist, musician, or graphic artist wants to contact you, do they cool?
yeah, sure. I mean, I'm always open to collaborate or other opportunities. I am not sure for the next project though, because one of my main objectives is to kind of skill a little more in other disciplines. I am interested in sound. I was playing music with a band for 4 years, so music is something I would love to start make, even if it's sound effects or stuff like that. I really want to learn every aspect involved, so that's one of the other reasons I try to do the maximum myself. But who knows, maybe I will have a need in a specific area, so feel free to contact me. uh, I am always pleased to get in touch with developers or passionate people from all over the world. So
Excellent. Is there something you want to say? I don't know. Make a commercial. I don't know. Promote
Uh,
your work.
Not especially. I'm really glad to have this exchange with you today. I'm glad that you covered my game and love it. Feel free to send me feedback anyway. I'm always pleased to hear from players, to have other opinions. I am the least qualified person, to this day, I really still don't know if it's a good or a bad game. So uh, just to talk about stuff, I'm always on Twitter, so no problem. Feel free to say hi.
Okay. Well, let me close this. Esto fue todo. Ya saben, si quieren ponerse en contacto con Khalil, está en Twitter como Khalil Arafan. También está su Twitter de Palm Group, que es @Palm Group Software. Así lo encuentran. Cualquier duda nos pueden contactar. Les dejo en la nota los links para que descarguen el juego. Recuerden darle feedback a Khalil para que sepa qué opinan de su juego. Y pues ya vieron, no solamente se hacen videojuegos en Europa o en Asia o en Estados Unidos, también se están haciendo videojuegos en África, se están haciendo videojuegos en América, como ustedes ya han visto con nosotros. Y esperamos sus comentarios, recuerden seguirnos y el próximo mes espero ya tener algún desarrollador mexicano aquí. Bueno, sería todo, muchas gracias. Thanks so much, Khalil.
Thank you for
It
having me.
was a pleasure. It's very interesting. I
Likewise.
really sure. Anything you want, anything, anyone you know who wants promotion, just let me know.
Yeah, sure.
I'm really happy to have new perspective. I'm really get bored of the mainstream video games
I will
because
keep in
they
touch,
are always
definitely.
the same. Yeah. So it was a pleasure.
It
And
was a pleasure.
well, now everybody knows your how to put in contact with you.
Thanks.
See you.
See you.
Ahí está.